To my YouTube channel, that is Auction Market, and my channel handle is Auction Market RS. And this is your host Rohit Sawant. Hope you guys know me. The people who have seen my previous videos on Auction Market. Okay, so what we are trying to do today is like we are going to start a new Auction Market daily analysis series for the Nifty market. Okay. So let us begin and try to understand what were your previous volume areas. Okay. So how do we mark the volume nodes here? So we have to look for the week off areas. So wherever you see a red color, red color zone, that is a high volume traded area. So we have to mark that. Okay. For the previous day market. So what exactly this is? This is 25,000 between 25,000 to 24,985. So this is our highly traded volume zone. So we have to mark this. Then what we have to do? We have to go for the previous day. But previous day we don't see anything because it was a big gap up. More than 200 points, it was a gap up. So we don't have anything to mark here. So what we can do? We can mark this particular area. So this particular area 1, 2, 3. So for these three particular days, this is the particular week of zone where the volume accumulated more for this particular zone. So we will mark this particular zone. Okay. 24,700 and 24,670. Okay. This is a consolidated range what we marked. Then we have to mark the value area low for this particular zone. This was the week of area. This is the volume area low. Okay. Then what we will do? We will try to move to the higher time frame, that is 15 minutes, to get some more accurate data. So this is for this particular zone. So for this particular zone, what is the week of area? We got this particular zone 25,095. This is the week of zone. You can see this. So this is also one of the week of area zone. Okay. So now I will close this bar replace service and come to our present day market. I'll go back to the 5-minute time frame. Close this volume profile. And in the previous video, I have already explained you guys about the delta. What is delta? What is max delta? What is min delta? What is cumulative delta? Okay. Okay. So let us begin with the first candle. So first candle initially is 9:15 candle, which is a very tricky one to handle it because most of the overnight positions are been closed here in the first candle. So that's the reason you see sometimes a very heavy delta. Okay, so now this is a 20k delta, fair enough. Okay, so in the left hand side you got sellers, on the right hand side you got buyers. So the overall combination is 20k. So the max delta went up to 20k, it came down to minus 49k, and then finally it got closed at 20k. Okay, so we see a kind of an balance candle. Okay, the both buyers and sellers are equally trying to capture that particular zone. You can see here 46k sellers, 30k buyers we have, 26k sellers, 4k buyers we have. So here we see 14k sellers, 18k buyers we have, 47k sellers, 39k sellers buyers we have. So here 74k buyers and 21k sellers we have. Okay, we'll move it to the next candle. In the next candle, Okay, sorry guys, it was a 15-minute time frame. Okay, yeah. On the 5 minute also, we have to analyze the candle in the same pattern what I've done for 15 minutes. Okay, so it's the negative 40k delta what we can see here, but we cannot trust this particular candle because most of the positions are getting closed. Okay, so we will move ahead to the next where you see a very heavy delta, a 50k delta you can see over here. So what exactly happened in this candle? We will just try to read the delta here. So 48k buyers we have, 13k buyers we have, but comparatively we got very less selling. Okay, the delta is positive, but what you can observe here, the candle is negative. Okay, so that doesn't mean that if any candle is red it is always negative. It can be a positive candle as well. So what we will do, we will just highlight this particular candle, okay, with the positive green box. Okay, so in the next candle, you don't see a follow-up candle. Okay, if this was a positive candle, then there should be a follow-up candle as well, right? But you don't see a follow-up candle. So what exactly this means? This particular 48k buyers and 13k buyers got absorbed immediately in the next candle. Okay, what was the next candle delta? 21k buyers and 22k sellers we have, 25k sellers we have. Okay, so this particular thing is been absorbed now, so we will keep this particular level as of now, for a future reference. I will tell you how do we make use of this particular zone. So you can see here we have already plotted the volume zones here. So this particular candle exactly hit this particular volume zone, and from this particular zone only it bounced back to this particular zone. So this 15k 25k delta got absorbed here in this green candle. So this green candle absorb this 25k sellers. Okay, so we have something called as absorption. So what exactly absorption is? The limit seller and the limit buyers try to absorb the limit order positions. Okay, so the same thing what we are observing here at this particular volume node. Okay, so we'll move ahead. So this is a 20k delta. We cannot trust this. Why? Because we are targeting for much more delta here, or you can say we are targeting, we got stuck between the support, the resistance, and the support. So either of the things should break. So if you go long here, immediately there is a resistance. Okay, and immediately if you try to short here, immediately you got a support here, so you won't have a better risk reward. Okay, so we will move ahead to the next candle. So you can see 16k. Okay, 16k, there are very less delta getting generated in today's market. As you can see, this particular zone is acting like a consolidation or accumulation area or absorption area. 23k, so we have to wait for this particular zone to break. Unless and until it is it is very risky to enter under any trade. So 18k delta you got here. Okay, so there is not enough delta to take any decision. Okay, 18k delta, 20k delta, we can see here 7k delta, minus 3k. Okay, 28k. So we can see this particular zone, previous day's volume zone. This was a previous day volume zone. It got broke here. Okay, but we don't have sufficient delta to enter into the trade. Okay, 28k delta we have. So now here you can see this is a 54k delta, and what are the candle delta? I have explained in the previous video what is candle delta. So candle delta represents the each and every price, how many buyers we have and how many sellers we have. So for 54k delta we can see a 15k buyers, 71k buyers and 26k buyers, but the candle is negative. Okay, but the delta is positive. Okay, so this is a positive candle, even though it is represented as a red candle. So what we will do, we will try to mark this particular zone. Okay, but immediately next candle did not give a follow-up candle. Okay, we got a very good delta, but after getting a very good delta we need to wait for a follow-up candle. So that is not happening in this case here. As you can see, immediately next candle broke this particular 71k and 26k buyers. But you guys might be thinking like, there is only 28k and 13k buyers, so how did this 71k and 26k got absorbed? So there is a concept called limit sellers. Limit sellers are already trying to absorb this particular positions. So that's the reason, with the less buyers holding here, limit sellers are trying to push the price down, or they're not allowing the price to go up. So the price is getting absorbed here. Okay, we will move ahead to next here. So what is the confirmation you get here? How did you identify this particular limit seller is getting absorbed? So for what is that one condition? So basically there are 2 to 3 conditions. Okay, so one condition is like we have to wait for any big seller. So here we got a 25k seller. Okay, so once we identify a seller in that particular zone, so we got a double confirmation, this particular area is being absorbed by limit seller. Okay, so we have to wait for a retest now. So this particular zone will is acting like an absorption zone, so we have to wait for a retest. So there are multiple attempts for a retest. Okay, 1 2 3, and possibly you can try to take your positions here itself. Okay, in the retracement phase, and soon after this you can see, we will try to delete it, so as it already got broken. So you can see a follow-up candle from here after the absorption. Okay, and it traveled from one volume area to another volume area. Okay, so again you got a 49k delta here, minus 49k, but you don't see a follow-up candle. Again this next candle got absorbed over here. Okay, so we will mark this level as well. Okay, it got absorbed, and the price went back again to that particular absorption area. So from one absorption area to another absorption area. Yeah, and so on, the market got closed in this particular region. After that we don't see enough delta. So there is another concept, I'll just show you. In the delta bar statistics, as I've already explained you in my previous video. Okay, initially we see the candle opening position was negative. Okay, but we don't have a follow-up candle over in the bar statistics. Okay, I'll just close this particular thing and make it visible to you guys. Okay, so you can easily see here, initially it was a negative opening. It opened from the baseline, below the baseline. Okay, it went up, it didn't get a proper follow-up, it came back. Okay, then again it went up above the baseline, and here you got a double confirmation. It got a follow-up candle, it hold it for a couple of time, for almost 30 minutes, and then from here you can see the rally. It never came down below the baseline. So you always look for a bullish side. Yeah, that's it guys. That was today's 19th August Nifty analysis. If you have any doubts on the order flow or auction market theory, please do reach out to me. I've also created a new Telegram group. You can, join that particular group for uh, getting the daily volume notes, zone areas, and for any educational discussions further. Okay, so I'll post that particular Telegram link in the description section. uh, Please do join that particular group to get a better understanding on Nifty analysis. Thank you guys. Bye bye.